Wow, stories.
My husband's ex-wife accuses me of trying to replace her in files for full custody. But after I expose her drunken rant to the judge, she loses, and now only gets supervised visits. My husband and I have been married for 2 years, together for 4. My husband and his ex-wife Laura have been separated for 7. They have a 5-year-old daughter, Sarah, together. Their custody arrangement is pretty cordial. Laura has their daughter from Sunday to Tuesday, and we have her Thursday to Saturday. On Wednesdays, Laura drops her off at school, and we pick her up. Holidays are supposed to be switched, but we always do them together for Sarah. I see Laura a lot, and she is okay with me, but that's mainly for Sarah's sake. From what I can tell, she is a great mom. Anyway, Sarah has been begging to go to Disneyland for a long time now, and my husband finally said we'd take her. Laura was okay with that. So, this past weekend we went. Sarah is obsessed with the Disney princesses, obviously, she's 5, and particularly loves Cinderella and Elsa. I think it's because they're both blonde, lol. Disney has this princess boutique thing where they dress up kids as any princess they want and do their hair, nails, and all that. Sarah was so excited and said she wanted to be Elsa. She asked me to wear something blue so that we could match, as I'm also blonde, and watch the movies with her a lot. At Disneyland, I wore a light blue workout dress and a white ribbon in my hair. When they dressed Sarah up as Elsa, my husband took a few pictures of us. When Laura asked for a picture, my husband sent her one of Sarah in the chair getting her hair done, one of her posing with Elsa, and one of me holding her. When Laura received this picture, she called me while we were still at Disneyland. I thought it might be something important, so I answered. Laura went off on me. She cussed me out, saying I was pretending to be Sarah's mother and that I needed to leave. She called me harsh names like a witch, an intimacy worker, and an intimacy lover. I ended up hanging up on her and told my husband to handle it. He ignored it until we got back to the hotel that night and then called her. Laura told him that us wearing the same thing was disrespectful. She said I looked like her mother, and people would get confused and assume I was. She said I was disrespecting her by doing this. I suspect she called me a few things that my husband didn't repeat. When we got home, Laura showed up unannounced. She tried to take Sarah back on a day that wasn't hers, and when Sarah wasn't even ready. My husband and she started arguing, which made Sarah cry. They don't argue in front of her, so I ended up taking Sarah out of the room. Well, that was a huge mistake. Laura went off on me for trying to kidnap her child and called me a fucking witch and a disgusting intimacy worker in front of her own daughter. My husband ended up kicking her out and threatening to call the police if she didn't leave. Laura then threatened to call them too, saying she'd tell them we didn't have permission to take Sarah on her days. So all that is to say, what the frick? It's Sunday now. So Sarah went to her mom's this morning. Laura apologized to my husband, but hasn't spoken to me at all. What about this Disney thing made her react like that? What did I do? I would never try to replace Laura as Sarah's mom. That's not my place at all. I don't understand what happened. If you have any thoughts on what I should do, please share. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. My husband and I have been married for 2 years, together for 4. My husband and his ex-wife Laura have been separated for 7 years. They have a 5-year-old daughter. So how long after he met you did he stop sleeping with her? How long did he let her think they were getting back together? Comment 2. Listen, as a mom, thank you for just being nice to that little girl. She doesn't really know or truly understand the situation most likely. But she will eventually remember how you treated her. Don't do anything different, OP. Now for the update. Thanks for sticking around to hear more about this mess. So, after Laura's outburst and her half-hearted apology to my husband, things went from bad to worse. I thought we'd hit rock bottom, but apparently there was a sub-basement level of drama waiting for us. On Tuesday, just when I thought we could maybe start smoothing things over, my husband got served with papers at work. Laura was filing for full custody of Sarah, claiming that our household was an unstable environment for her. She twisted the Disneyland incident, saying I was trying to usurp her role as Sarah's mother. My husband was livid and I was just in shock. How could a simple trip to Disneyland spiral into a full-blown custody battle? We lawyered up fast. Our lawyer, a no-nonsense woman with a reputation for being a bulldog in court, told us to gather any evidence of our stable home life and Sarah's happiness with us. We pulled together photos, videos, even statements from friends and family about how we were with Sarah. It was invasive, having to prove that we were good for her, but we did what we had to do. The court date was set for the end of the week, and tension was high. Sarah could feel it too. She was quieter, clinging to her stuffed animals like lifelines. It broke my heart to see her like that. Then, 2 days before the hearing, my husband's phone buzzed with a message that made his face go white. It was from Laura's sister, of all people, with a video attached. The video showed Laura, drunk and yelling at Sarah for something trivial, calling her names that no child should ever hear from their mother. Her sister had recorded it horrified, and after seeing the custody papers, decided that Sarah was better off with us. The court day arrived, and it was like something out of a movie. Laura was there, all righteous indignation, until our lawyer played the video. The courtroom was dead silent. Laura's face crumpled, and for a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. The judge was stern, asking Laura if she had anything to say for herself. She started crying, saying it was a one-time thing, that she was under a lot of stress, but the damage was done. The judge ruled in our favor, granting us primary custody and Laura visitation rights, with the stipulation that she seek counseling. We walked out of the courthouse, my husband holding Sarah tight, and I couldn't help but feel a weight lift off my shoulders. It wasn't a victory to celebrate, and it was just sad all around. But Sarah was safe, and that's what mattered. You'd think that would be the end of it, but no. The next day, Laura showed up at our house, sober and somber. She said she wanted to talk, just her and me. My husband was wary, but I agreed, curious about what she had to say. She apologized, a real apology this time, to me. She admitted that her jealousy had gotten the better of her, that she saw how much Sarah loved me and it scared her. She said she was going to get help, that she wanted to be better for Sarah. I told her that's all we ever wanted. It's been very eventful, to say the least. But now, there's a sense of peace, a tentative truce between Laura and me. We're not friends, but we're not enemies either. We're just two women who love the same little girl and want what's best for her.